Hello and welcome to Brew Tap Cast. I am Tap here for another Flesh and Blood video. Today will be our first limited focus video, so we will be doing a mock sealed pool of Welcome to Wrath. We're going to be cracking some packs, building a deck, and talking as we go about the deck building process and that sort of thing. Before we start, if you're ever able to go to a shop and do a sealed, which I have yet to be able to do myself with things being shut down and supplies being very difficult to find. Haven't been able to do it, but people are going to be getting boxes. Hopefully shortly, the unlimited reprints, second waves will be around the states at least, or in other areas as well. So hopefully people can get their hands on some boosters if they're able to hang out with a set of close friends, or maybe go webcam games. You can crack some packs and make some sealed pools, and then play them. So the one thing you got to remember is this is a 30 card minimum format. So it is based on the cards that you open. You can play any cards that you open, and then you have a minimum deck construction requirement of 30 cards. So go over that. That's just the minimum. There is no restriction on the number of cards of a certain color you can play. So if you open 10 of the same card, you can play all of them. There's no worry about, only being held to 2 or 3 copies of a certain card of a certain color. The other thing is that you do have to have a hero, that you do not have to open it. So generally, the tournament organizers will provide heroes and weapons for the ones in the format, provided they are ones that are basic heroes. So obviously, you might not be able to get Kavdin or Shiana in Crucible of War, although that's not actually meant to be played as a set, a limited set. It was mostly just to constructed and blitz format supplies, that sort of thing. However, this set, as well as Arcane Rising, are both limited, available, draftable, sealable sets. And so we're doing Welcome to Wrath. And here are our 4 heroes with their weapons. So we have the Guardian with Bravo and Amathos. We have Dorinthia with Dawnblade and the is our warrior. We have Katsu, our ninja, with a harmonized Kadachi. And we have Brute Reinar with a romping club. So those are the 4 heroes that we potentially will build around as we play. But again, do not worry if you don't open those cards in your pool. Should be able to to find them. The tournament organizer should get them for you if needed. So all that said, I think that's all that we really need to know about those cards before we get into it. So we will probably just go right into cracking our packs. So we will crack these open. We will quickly sort them by class, and then we will go into looking at them and move on from there. So that all said, let's start cracking. And these are unlimited boosters. Obviously, you saw on the top there. There's no way that I'm gonna get, or probably anyone now is gonna get their hands on anything first edition at this point, anyways, right now. So all right, so we'll just put these tokens off to the side. We don't need to have these, so we'll do generic. And then we might spread them up by what kind of things they are. So attack versus non-attack. That's generally pretty good that way. We also have equipment. So that is one thing, is equipment you open is the only equipment you get to play with. There's not any sort of generic equipment available. It is only those heroes. So definitely looking to get equipment as you open things. That's very important there. So righty. Start with files here. And then move on from there. Got one warrior card in there, unless I missed one here. Yeah, so always hope to open some really great cards as you're going through your pool, but sometimes you don't always get what you need. That's okay. Root attacks here. Potion of Strength. That's a quick item to have. Probably the best in this sort of format, but still all right. Root. Guardian. Be low on warriors. Got 2 this one at least. Ready? Quicken token. Again, tokens, any kind of tokens should not be an issue as far as being provided for you as you play the game. So at least we're getting a fair bit of equipment here, which is good for us. And then we'll go through each class after we've cracked them and separated and go from there. Really, this is just the sort of getting them into different piles and then going from there. Gotta love Sink Below. Definitely a great card. All right, cool. Getting a fair bit of equipment here. We have 3 pieces. Not bad, not bad. Ooh, drone. That's not a bad one. Ooh, lovely singing steel blade. That's a pretty nice open there. Raging Plot as our foil. Warrior. Warrior. All right, so not a bad pull as far as that super singing steel blade. Okay. Sorry for all the unintentional loud noises there with the cracking of the packs. Got another set of things that we actually have. If we were to play a warrior, we have every piece that we would need to have a full set of armor, which is pretty nice. Gotta love that. That's definitely something that's a gamble as you start playing. You never really know what you're going to pull as far as equipment goes, so gotta like that. All right, last pack to crack for this pool. Hope that we get something spicy here. Got a cracked bauble. So again, this is just a generic resource card, so it's just pitches for 2. That's all it does. I don't actually know. This is considered a token. I don't know if these are available, just like randomly, like at the as the TO may have it or not. But I guess I don't really know. To be honest with you. Bark bone strapping. So another piece of a chest piece there. Crushing beatdown. Buster fist. Ooh, we got a foil. Guardian forged for war. Super. Gotta like that there. When you control game +1 defense at the beginning of your action phase, destroy forged for war. Go again. Alrighty. So we have our cards just about separated. Alright, so generics we'll always look at as far as at the end of the thing. We will sort of figure out where we want to go class-wise before we get into looking at generics. So the first thing, yeah, you want to look at your classes. We're also going to want to consider if we got any class-specific armor. And we did. We got, in this point, if we wanted to go into a brute, we have everything except for boots for a brute. If we want to go to warrior, we have every piece of armor for that. And then anything else, we'd have basically a chance for at least 3 pieces of equipment. Helmet of some kind, gauntlets, a chest piece. So this would be the ones that might be something to consider as well as when we're looking at our class things. So we'll sort of just set these aside. We'll just remember that we have a brute, barkbone strapping, and a refraction bolters as our warrior. All right, so let's just start with Guardian. First group here. So we're gonna break these out into different attacks versus auras versus different things like that. Sort of what we have there. We have a lot of attacks actually. Yeah, that's not the best set of. Obviously, we want to be able to do some things. So we have a couple debilitates. Have cartilage crush, 1 of each color. Buckling blow and crush confidence. So not a terrible set of pulls. That said, we would have liked to have some heavy blues. We'll also look at the generics. That can always be where we're going to be getting our blues, because Guardian always wants to pay heavy blue because most of their attacks are at least blue to put out. So we definitely want to consider that when we're looking at that. Otherwise, yes, we have a few good attacks here. Looking at, obviously that's a big thing, is you want to be able to smash in for some damage. You get that crush online. It's definitely like taking someone's equipment is like pretty dang good in this here format. All right, you have a couple emerging powers here. Those boost up your attacks. We have a staunch response for defense. As we saw that, a nice foil forged for war. We have a Stonewall Confidence and a Blessing of Deliverance. So none of these are. I mean, this is kind of great. It helps to boost up your armor. So like if we're playing something that has no defense, we actually end up gaining it, or the Iron Rock Gauntlets end up defending for 2 or something like that. That sort of thing. But it's not really in this particular format. It's not going to be the best card. Like holy moly, really want to play that. So sort of not really worry too much about that one. Blessing of Deliverance, same sort of thing. That could be important because you do want to worry about life total. You can gain some life there. It has a little bit of momentum built in for an off turn. That could be pretty nice. Stonewall Confidence. It's all right. That's kind of the Guardian thing to try to build up defense here. We have multiple ways of doing that. All right, so all in all, Guardian not blowing me out of the water here. Wish we saw a little bit more of some bigger red attacks here. We only got just 2 red attacks, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but gotta go from there. All right, so moving on, let's look at our. We'll put this guy in a maybe pile. Not like dying to get into this, but not like whatever. Just in the middle here. Let's look at Ninja. So go with the attacks here. For these, we probably want to. Could probably just first start off. Mostly, they're just going to be attacks. So surging strikes, head jabs, gust waves, those sorts of things. There, bluster, blackout kicks, and at the center. So we did get a fair bit of ninja cards here, actually. And we have to look at the combo lines to make sure we actually have things that work. Not the greatest that we have 2 blackout kicks and only a single rising knee thrust. That said, we have no leg taps at all, so we can't even go the whole combo of going from the base and up. So surging strike, we have surging strike. We have whelming gust wave. We have open the center. We have open the center, so we have head jabs and open the center, and we do have that fluster fist top end. So probably not too thinking like crazy, like, oh man, look at this sweet combo thing. Like the blackout kick's pretty nice, but at the same time, not the best. And again, with only 1 to actually bring that online, not really pulling me there very hard. Surging strike with multiple whelming gust waves isn't terrible, but it's too bad that we don't have sort of the opposite, where we have more surging strikes and less whelming gust waves. That said, we do have 2 sets of combos for the head jab, open the center, and then fluster fist combo chain. So that's not too bad, and fluster fist is actually pretty good. Again, if we can go 1, 2, 3, this is only a 2 resource turn just for the open the center, and that can be pretty good. So getting +1 from each thing that hits. So let's say we go in for a head jab, we hit for 3. If we're hitting this big red one, we get in for +1 on. Let's go with the lesser one here. So hit for 1, let's say, or hit for so like something like that. This guy gets +1, go again and dominate, so they can't block that well, and then likely if they know that we might have the combo online. And again, remember Katsu. Look at Katsu. He does say, for the first time an attack action card you control hits a turn, you may discard a card with cost 0. If you do, put your deck for a combo card. So again, we don't have to necessarily have all 3 of these in our hand. That's like not something that's super crazy. We have to have the first 2 because we can't go search up the second one because we have to discard a card with cost 0. So we could theoretically have any of these pieces, and as well as we have another 0 cost one in there, then we could theoretically search for any piece. So we don't have to worry about having so many pieces that we can always have them in our hand. We can go ahead and get them as well. That's something that you got to think about as well. So Ninja, I'm feeling okay. Nothing like crazy, and like there's not really any reason why we wouldn't go with something like a rising knee thrust and put the blackout kicks in, because the blackout kick can be okay. It's a 1 cost for 3 or 4 damage in these 2 cases to the other one. So they're not like great, but we would probably go with the other combo line of surging strike into whelming gust wave, and go from there. So feeling okay about Ninja. Not blowing my hair back, but not too bad. At least we have a couple okay sets of chains there. So something to think about there. I'm sure I think I saw some nimble strikes in there as well. So all right, let's take a gander at our brute. So let's go ahead and put these bad Larrys out here. Separate them into sort of sets of different cards here. A lot of smash inks. Savage Beast. Not too shabby. And a Savage Swing. So, really, the things that we're looking for here are 6 costs. So let's take a quick look at. I guess we should have talked about the Guardian. What Bravo's ability is. It's basically you pay 2 and your attack cards get dominate. So that's not bad. I don't think that really. We didn't really need to discuss that necessarily when we talk about that because we feel like we didn't really have these really big attacks, a lot of really big attacks. So it's not like oh, that was really imperative to when we discussed that deck. So that's all right. Reinar's ability is kind of hard to see. This won't autofocus. I think I turn that off. In any case, so whenever I discard a card with 6 or more attack power during your action phase, you intimidate. So intimidate is you get to banish a card from their hand until the end of turn, so they can't block with it. So it's a little bit like dominate in the sense that it cuts down on blocking, but it doesn't actually remove the card from hand in the sense of they can't pitch with it that turn, but they get it back at the end of the turn. So really what we want to see is if we do have attacks, we want to have them all be above 6. So on these set, boom, they're all 6 or above. I think the only 2 attacks that we actually have are these 2 blue Smash Instincts. Those are the only ones that are not above 6. That said, if we wanted to play that, we could just play these blues for pitching or whatever, or play one of them maybe. We pitch, we play that, and then we can discard a card at random. That one actually doesn't ask that. So probably wouldn't want to play these because we want to have Reinar cause a discard. So Wrecker Romp would be not bad. So again, if we have all these guys in here, you have Wrecker Romp, Savage Swing, and Savage Feast as ways to discard cards. Again, we have some non-attack actions that will have us do that as well. Plus, we got 2 Barraging Beatdowns, which is really quite nice. So really, theoretically, we could build it for a really big swing, just a beatdown turn. I have that pretty good. So feeling okay about Reinar here. Again, without even looking at any of our generics just yet. So looking at that, so looks like we could definitely. The other side, the other problem is if we do go Reinar, we're like, oh man, look at all these. I got all these big 6-7 power attacks. Great. Well, you also have these 5 cards just in Brute that aren't attack cards, and therefore you can't get that pump on his effect. Likely we'll have to play some generics that also won't have attack power of 6 or greater. So we don't have to only think about Magical Christmas Land, but we should think about where we actually might end up. So I think that's fine. So we can definitely say, hey, Reinar, not looking too shabby there. Do have a bunch of good power things for a pretty good cost. All right, so our last one is Warrior. Definitely feels the thinnest of all of these. We will separate attack reactions into one set and then X in other actions of the thing. Steel Blade Shunt, not bad, not bad. So target weapon gets +1. Reprise, Vampire, creature attack for action card, banish your face up, then shut. Alright, so you can basically just go get your best attack reaction as the reprise thing right there, which is pretty nice. Not like a holy moly, that's the best, because we don't necessarily have a lot of other things that are really great, but you go from there. What are these? Nature's Path Pilgrimage. Valor, gotta love the Warrior's Valor. Second Iron Song response, not too bad. Oh, third, sorry. All right, so looking at it This is not too bad. We don't have, I don't know why I put Sharpened Steel over here. We don't actually have any attacks, which is, not really the thing, is you're always about your weapon, so that doesn't really matter. I totally just very poor manner. So not too unhappy with these pulls here. So ultimately, like if we were to play this, we have our Dawn Blade. What would we go and fetch with the Singing Steel Blade? I guess it could be Iron Song Response isn't that bad. Neither is Stroke of Foresight. That could be pretty cool. But yeah, not too bad. We do have a Warrior's Valor, so that can be pretty good too. Being able to attack in multiple turns with our sword, Steel Blade Shunt. Can't be upset with a 1 cost 6 defense. Also damages them if it's a weapon attack. We have 2 Sharpened Steel, which isn't too bad, getting our Dawn Blade up on that. And we have the Nature Paths Pilgrim. We got Pilgrims. We got 4 of those, red, 2 yellow. So that can be pretty good to try to get some extra cards. Yeah, so I think Warrior not too bad. I could deal with playing on the Warrior. All right, so now with all that looked at, let's definitely go and look at our generics and see what we end up with there, and that'll sort of determine where we want to go for our final cut. So we did see our Potion of Strength, so that was not too shabby. I guess a little bit more room because there are a lot of generics. We'll just separate these by type right now. Kind of did for the most part already, so I think we have a couple defense reactions. 2 Sink Belows, gotta love that. Not upset by that at all. And then we'll just look for, I guess, for heavier attacks versus attack reactions, and then other just generic actions. Well, I like the pummels. That's too bad that theirs aren't not really a little bit more into playing Guardian or Rhino or anything like that, but yonder. I'm saying we'll probably just play the drone. Not necessarily going to go to the fatigue in limited, but nothing wrong with having a card that sort of always can come back. And the yellow one is kind of in the middle, so they'll pitch for a good amount and do a good amount of damage as well. So not going to say no to that, sort of depending on whoever we play. Regurgitating Slog. Never actually played that card. I feel like that's a really good card for limited. Quick, right? Slogism. Scar for a Scar. Hole and a Demolition Crew. Those are our generics. So, looking at this, again, club and hammer blows would be pretty good there, but again, not necessarily a reason to play them. Also have some Slogism. Blue Slogism is really good for Bravo if you're going to be playing that. Probably would play the 5 cost, or sorry, the 5 attack Wounded Bull as well. Demolition Crew to sort of go anywhere. Drone, all probably not ninja or anything like that, but so we do have some nimbleisms if we were going sort of that ninja route. Regurgitating Slog, sort of your Brute or Rhinar, or sorry, Brute or Guardian. Not too bad in the defense reactions. All right, so nothing really here that's like pulling me in a certain, like amazingly in a certain direction. So I think I'd probably go with I think what I do like about warrior here in this pool is that we do have a fair bit of. Well, I guess we don't really. I mean, we could be pumping in for a higher amount with the pummels, but that's not necessarily all that great. The scar for a scar would be pretty good there in the warrior. I think it's probably gonna be brute or warrior as well. And actually, that goes again with our full set of armor there for both of those. That's actually pretty key there. And so this one, so we'll probably should talk about those. So bark bone strapping, so you can add an instant speed, destroy it. Roll a 6-sided die, you gain resource points equal to that. Has battle worn, so it doesn't destroy when you block with it. So really, it's about that one big turn that maybe you can't really pitch a card. You need to just play your cards out to get this big swing or multiple swings with Intimidate. So that's not too shabby there. And then the refraction bolters. Your warrior boots, also a battle armor, which is nice. And then when a weapon you control hits, you may destroy refraction bolters. If you do, go again. That's kind of not too shabby. And remember, if we look at Dawnblade, so the really reason why warrior's all about getting in hits with weapons. So her effect, Dorinthia says, once per turn effect, when a weapon you control hits, you may attack with an additional turn. So instead, it sort of loses that once per turn attack. And if it hits. And if the second time it hits, you put a +1 counter on it. At the beginning of your end phase, if it did not hit, remove all. So basically, she's really just about enabling her weapon and getting after it. So that's why we want to have a lot of attack reactions, even though the pummels aren't great. Again, I think it's probably worth playing a couple pummels just so you can get through that damage to get that counter on the Dawnblade. It's swinging in for 3 for a single resource if it hits, which is likely going to be easy. Maybe you want to. I guess that's. I think you could definitely make a case for warrior being a pretty good build here. Brute, same sort of thing. We do have 6 power raging onslaught. We do have a 6 power wounded bull. Don't have a 6 power drone. That's not too bad. We can play demolition crew. So all in all, I think I'm leaning towards brute. So if we play the brute, play Rhinar. I think we'll have a pretty good set of equipment with the bark bone strappings. Although that heart and cross piece isn't actually that bad. You get to not instant speed, but that doesn't really matter as much. But I guess which one would be better is you have a higher. First of all, it's got battle worn, so it actually defends for something, and it doesn't die. But you're actually likely to get. You're more likely to get more than 2 or equal to 2 than you are to get 1. So it's already a little bit better. Plus, it doesn't require an action. So you can use it as a way to generate. I know this does have go again. But even so, you're limited to that too. And that's why it's generic. That's the way. So I think we're probably going to go with a build out of no boots. We'll just go with the Iron Rot helmet, Iron Rot gauntlet, and the bark bone strapping for our brute equipment. And move on into building it. So what would we want to play out of this for that? So I don't think we'd be doing this. No thank you on the nimble strikes. Those are not really where we're going. Not with the nimbleism either. Not the wounding blow. No, I already didn't know I had two sets of nimbleisms there. My bad. Probably going to want to play the pummels. Not upset by that at all. Maybe not all 3, just because that's a lot of stuff to have in your hand there. We could play a slogism. I guess we'll have to see. What we really want to play in this deck, I would say, is that we definitely want to play these again. Going for those larger, being able to capitalize on those larger hits is very important for Rhinar. So I think that going that direction isn't too bad of an idea. Side here. Probably not going to play the blue Raging Onslaught. Not going to play the Scar for a Scar. Not going to play the Regurgitating Slog. Although I feel like I've always wanted to play that thing, but whatever. All right, so likely we'll play these 4 cards and possibly some of these pummels. So we can sort of just set those aside for now, and let's see what else we got. So again, 30 cards is where we're targeting. for this deck. And let's again just throw these out. Probably aren't going to play the Potion of Strength either. Although, I guess with Dominate's pretty good. This is more of like a Bravo thing, I feel like. You're going to go those being Dominate things instead of Intimidate. But we might consider playing it if we think we need it. Probably won't play the Unmovable, but probably will play the Sink Below. Not bad, but not too great either. So it's always nice to have defense. And most of the brute attacks are actually 3 defense anyway, so we have a pretty good... Actually, we don't have anything as lower than 3, so I think we're actually pretty good there as well. So looking at the things that we care about that actually cause discard are... Oops, not... So those are the ones that actually cause us to discard. So we have 2, 4, 5 copies of cards that actually require us to discard. And again, we get a bonus for Savage Feast if we actually discard a 6 power. We draw a card, so we replace it. Otherwise, these are just randomly discarding cards. So really, what we want to be able to do is maybe have a turn where we have like a blue Smash Instinct or something like that, and we can play like a Barraging Beatdown, and then we pitch the Smash Instinct, say for a Wrecker Romp, and then we have like a Pack Hunt in our hand or whatever, and that discards, and then boom, we have Intimidate from the discard, and so doubly intimidated. We're coming in for +4. We're coming in for 11 there. Maybe our other card in our hand is a Pummel, so we can add 3 to that, coming in for 14. So not too shabby as far as that goes. So not upset there. Again, the blue Smash Instincts are the ones we might not actually be playing here. Make sure we have enough attack cards too. So these are just going to be things that bump. Waking Bellow. We'll think about that one. Want to make sure we have enough attacks though. We don't have a huge amount of big attacks in generic, so we want to keep that in mind as well. Right now, we're only going to be playing those 4, so it looks like we'll definitely have to add some things. We take out the Potion of Strength just as a side. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So and if we play the third one, 22. We're still down for 8 cards. That is if we play these 2 here. So we could probably find some other things in our generic pile. That wouldn't be too bad. I mean, again, playing a Wounded Bull isn't too bad. We could maybe play a Slogism to really give those things a big punch. We actually probably could play... Do we have a yellow one? Oh, we had a red one. I was going to say we could probably play more yellows here. We don't have a lot of cards that actually cost very much. Really just Smash Instinct is the only one that costs 3. So having a bunch of blues isn't really needed. Well, I guess we have Wounded Bull that also costs 3 as well, but that's not... And then Raging Onslaught. That's not really that critical, though. Although we do want to be able to pay for them. So if we do play those Smashes, we can also play a Slogism there. I don't think that gives us a reason to play Regurgitating Slog, although I think that'd be very, very funny. I find that a very funny attack or a card in the game. Nothing down here, right? Nope, those are all not really where we're going there. So I think we're still low. So 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we got 7 more cards. So we could theoretically throw in the Unmovable if we're looking. Like, Unmovable's not too bad. I mean, again, the thing about that you should remember about this this game. So if I always came from Magic where you play in a sealed tournament or something like that, you play your first game blind. All of your matches are blind in the sense of what you're playing against. So you play your first game of your first match, first round. It's best of 3. This is best of 1, so that's a difference there. So you only get 1 game, 30-minute round of 1 game. You sideboard after that first game. So once you know what your opponent's playing, then you can make changes to your deck. In this game, you actually do it before rounds. So you see what your opponent is playing, and then you go from there, and you decide to say, all right, well, I know I'm playing a Guardian, so I'm definitely going to want to put this Unmovable in there, because that Unmovable is going to be a huge deal, because they're going to be coming in with huge hits with Dominate that I really don't want to handle, or don't have a great way to handle. So this way, it allows you to defend from your hand with, say, a Smash Instinct, and then you get to play an Unmovable as a reaction, Boom, you're defending from, if it was played from your arsenal, say it was, that's 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. So that's not too bad of a be able to block a big dominate swing with a, say they get a crippling crush that's coming in for like, plus 10. You just got that into almost probably single digits. So not too shabby there. So we can consider that as part of the the build as well. I'm a little worried that we're playing too many non-attacks here. But I guess we'll have to see what we end up with there. I feel like I don't want to play Awakening Bellow. Having it cost mana or resources isn't really great, whereas all these other ones don't. They all have Go Again. They're going to get pluses to their things, so +5, +3. So yeah, the only thing that's good about the Awakening Bellow versus the Primeval Bellow is that it does give another Intimidate. If we are going to really try to stack in on Intimidate, we don't really necessarily want to ditch this, but at the same time, if we're going for a larger amount of six drops, this actually doesn't cause us to discard, whereas these would be the reason why we're playing the Primeval Bellows in the first place, to trigger Rhinar. So because this doesn't actually require us to discard, it has Intimidate alone, and it costs 1, I think we'll probably just pull that guy out for right now and not play him. Maybe, maybe not. Again, kind of depends on what hero we're playing. We'll think about going from there. So that leaves us with some more generics to go through and think about. We're definitely not playing any of these guys in the back here. Wounded Blow is not really what we're doing either. So we're left with Wounded Bull, Raging Onslaught, Scar for Scar, which we're probably not going to play. That's just really not big enough. Regurgitating Slog, Raging Onslaught, and another Slogism. So theoretically, we played another Slogism. Probably go ahead and play the Potion of Strength. That's not too out of character in the sense of just trying to get things powered up and swinging in with some Intimidate stuff. Maybe we do actually keep this Awakening Bellow in because we are going to start adding things that aren't all up that high. So want to keep an eye on that. So again, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16, 19, 23, 24, 25, 26. So we need 4 more cards. We're playing 2 Slogisms. We could theoretically play 2 Regurgitating Slogs, and then a Wounded Bull and a Raging Onslaught. So those look to be our best bets. Yeah, nothing else in the generics. I think we played all of our Brute cards. Warrior. Yeah, so those are all of our Brute cards. And that's our build. So alternatively, we could have built Warrior, although again, I think out of this we probably had some pretty good. Actually, no, the Nimbleism because it's attack action card. Lock of the Featherwalkers, theoretically that could be good. Nimble Strikes would be, okay. Scar for Scar we'd probably play in the Warrior, but otherwise we wouldn't have a lot to choose from as far as like really trying to power up our Warrior thing. We probably would have ended up playing the Pummels anyways. But that is that's that. So that's where we'll leave it. There's our Rhinar build, our Rhinar build with a full set of 3 pieces of armor. So again, we could have had that for full 4 with the refraction bolters, but you can't always get every piece. But all in all, I think that was actually a really good pull for armor equipment in cards. So all right, so that's our Rhinar build for this sealed event. So again, haven't done a lot of the sealed. Actually, haven't played a sealed match yet. This is just a mock build of one. So again, if I'm really off base here, like, oh, this is just a terrible way to build Rhinar. I've also never actually built a Rhinar deck as well. Played against him a lot more than I played him. So don't necessarily know. I feel like the Pummels aren't really a great thing. But again, if I'm swing with the club a lot, that's pretty effective here. So again, it is once per turn. It's 2 to attack for 4, and then once per turn effect when you discard a card with 6 or more, Run Couple gets +1. So again, you have to have a reason to discard. You can't just discard a card. But even so, not too bad. All right, so that's our Rhinar build. So let me know in the comments how'd I do. I think this is a good start for a Rhinar build. We didn't have the best pool for a perfect deck, but that's kind of what limited is. It's just like in draft, you have a little bit more power because you can selectively take these cards, but sealed is you open what you open and you go from there. So I think it went pretty well. We're playing about half and half. Oh, I guess it's more like, a third brute cards versus 2/3 generics. Maybe we would have been better served going into Ninja because we had a fair bit of Ninja cards, but at the same time, you don't really know. So that's that. So thank you for watching. Again, let me know in the comments below if you think this is a total garbo of a build, if I'm totally off, and I'm happy to learn with people if if I got it wrong. So thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff if you feel like it. You know, for the channel if you want, if you like seeing our content. So that is all we have for Brew Tap Cast today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.